Morning, welcome back to Simon Trucker. In this video I want to speak about the cost of passing an LGV test. I'm on my first one and the guys asked me to wait for about 15 minutes, he says. So I thought I would just start this video right now. Yeah, the stages of passing for your exam, getting your LGV driving license. They have added CPC. That's something that we didn't do, people like me. CPC, which, as I said last video, is normally 35 hours 7 times 5. So it's a whole week's work. You go in, sit there, and they tell you that one is not an exam, it's just information and ticking that you've had it and you've signed that you've been told.
After a few moments,
it's a done job. The double decker. Normally with the decker you need to pump air. You need to pump air. It just has this air thing. This one is an alright one. Some of them you need to stay for a minute or two while you replace the air before you let you go. So you just get the back doors 1 sec. The first time 750 gone, fine. The second time the school told me, since you've already done it, you can come back for a bit less. I think they let me to come back with £400 to show you how these lessons have always been there. A lorry driving lesson them years was £50 an hour. And they did minimum, I think they did about 4 hours minimum. So they wanted £200 just for that, 4 hours, when £200 was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. No one had ever earned it in one day. 200 was a lot of money. In fact, people earned that in a whole week. Sometimes you'd go and earn that in a week as a student. Down here they was taking it for within 4 hours. Okay, the first time I paid 750, it didn't happen. The second time I paid £400. 400 gave me a 4-hour lesson, and then the 200 took me back for the exam that day. I didn't make it again. Okay, that money, how much is that? 750, 400. Let us rough estimate it at 1200. 800 plus 400, 1200, 1200. All right. Now, when that didn't happen, I sensed that the school I was using was the one with the trouble. It was cheap. It was the first school that I saw on any sign. It was the first sign, and it was the cheapest amount I saw anywhere. Okay. So now I thought, let me find another school. When I got another school, this school was Wallace Driving School, the school that I've blown for on this channel the whole time. They have never paid me a penny. It's just a genuine recommendation. They don't need to pay me nothing. They were a good school, and I always keep telling people about it. Now, when I thought get another place, get another school, I found Wallace. Wallace was local to me, but Wallace was expensive. Wallace was starting me out at 1200. Okay, 1,200. Imagine from 750, a school was saying you come with 750, we'll give you, but this one was saying 1,200. The difference was the trucks were brand new. The first class trucking had used all maybe 10 years or 15 or what was really old. They were actually manual. What do I mean manual? They weren't hydraulically assisted on turning. So you were dealing with a steering wheel that is as tough as the ones that weren't helped with any hydraulics. Very difficult to turn. It actually gave me bruises in my hands. The first day I drove, second day I went home and I was looking at my palms and my hands and I'm thinking, what is these cuts? Those were the cuts driving that truck. Old ones that didn't have even hydraulic for turning. Anyway, the second one was for that year. It was a brand new for that particular year. Spanking. Okay, brand new machine. Now from 750 to 1.2, I thought, why? I had to wait a bit. All this took me, can you imagine? This whole took me 1 year. You think it's a joke getting this license? It's not a joke. I wanted to do it, and I tell you, I worked a whole year spending all my money on just one item. Trucking. Go for the lesson, save for the lesson, go for the, you know, them days, imagine how much is that? 2,000 was, that is what? 800 plus 1.2. Yeah, raising 2,000 pounds was a lot of money. A lot of money, a big hustle. Okay. Second failure. No. Why am I getting it wrong? The first one was 750. The second one was about 400. Okay, now I've blown 1,200. The third one was now 1,200. So I've blown 1,200, and this school has also asked 1,200. They are better, they are newer, they have pass race and everything, but I've still failed the third time. Now the stress was growing, now the pressure was growing, now they wonder, will I pass? Is this a loss? Should I make a U-turn? So that's the thing, that's my story. Feel free to share how much did you spend as a trucker for you to get your class 2, because that took me only to class 2. To class 1 I had to spend another 2,000 pounds. Class 1, did I pass straight away? I don't remember. Might have passed after the second one as well, on the second one. Now, averages. Also, this is something we can find out on this channel. I think I will probably run a survey. How many times did you go before you got your license? I think I'm going to type that later. I went 4 times and I don't know what's the average. I know very rarely will they let you pass the first time. Some people do come out and they're happy, but I would expect it's 1 out of 5. Very few people will they let them. If your dad had a truck and you knew how to drive it and you drive unofficially and you're a yard, you know, you work in the yards where there's a truck, maybe you've learned it somehow. Those are the guys who can pass straight away. But if you come here and you're buying every lesson, yeah, if you've been driving a car for long, also would help you. If you're new on cars, it would take you longer on trucks, obviously. They're related. They are related. So in my opinion, the average, I don't know why I have to say the average is about, people pass about after failing twice. Third time, they pass the third time. I'm just guessing. I have spoken with a guy, some guy who has the last time I went to a test center looking for an exam, there was a guy I spoke with and he'd been there, that was the 9th time. He was there the 9th time. I don't know how much he had spent. 9 times. That's how much. Past me had failed me before. I think the second time I went, he's the one who failed me. So when we was there in the chit chat and who are you? Oh, you're not driving too badly. Oh, you seem to know this game. I was like, hey, you don't know me. You failed me before. Hey, Bob. He jumped. And I think that was it. That was how I passed my thing. Because he had failed me before. I had improved. I spent so much money and I was really serious now. Now he couldn't fail me. Everything was flowing. There's a time when I used to ask my trainer, is there a place where you learn this thing? Because I used to think maybe you can't really learn how to drive these things. I thought it was just either they favor you or they don't favor you. Because I was asking him, can you really learn this thing and have no mistakes? I couldn't believe that you could not have no mistakes. But with time, you could have no mistakes driving. If you know the rules and you're steady and you've got your nerves together, there is no way they're going to fail you. But on that day as well, you need to have either, is it good luck or blessings or what? You need the right occurrences. That day something can come from nowhere with things that are never taught. Maybe they closed the road that day, on that day, that time. And they didn't teach you that situation when everyone's all mad, running everywhere and so on. So when the situation changes, but you've never met, that's where the trouble begins. That's where the trouble begins. So that is my story of how I spent and how I eventually done it. I spent about 3 grand, and that's how it was broken down. The first one was 750, the second one was 400, the next one was 1200, and the one after that was 600. Around 3,000 that I spent.